Welcome everyone to Friday at 4. It is the end of the week. Weekend is almost upon us, and I'm sure we're all happy. As always, I am joined with Amanda Van Deerheiden. Good afternoon, Amanda.
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday.
So today, we thought well, you know what? I'm going to let Amanda walk us through the topics and our conversation for today. Take it away, Amanda.
So, you may have noticed that we missed a week or two with Friday at 4, and that's because I actually had a personal emergency. My mom had an accident, needed surgery and recovery, so I've been handling work and taking care of my mom. And the reason why I bring in a personal topic like this is because life happens, right? And we, even our high potential employees, our high level executives, life happens. So one of the things we want to talk about with you today is, as an individual, how are you balancing, right? We could go on and on for hours about work-life balance. But as corporations, what's your policy around, flex time and work from home? Because if I didn't have the role that I have, where I'm lucky enough to work with people from around the globe, and as long as I have an internet connection, I can pretty much do my work, except for obviously the face-to-face part of it. But I'm lucky in that sense. A lot of organizations do not have that capability, whether it's because they have an old school mentality, or they're not comfortable with it, or they just have never done it before. And Jim and I wanted to start getting you to think about this, is what your policies are impact how you're attracting people and how you're retaining your top talent. So Jim, let's kick it to you, and I'll ask you, you've worked with a plethora of companies that have, I'm sure, ranging policies on this, but what are the organizations that people want to be working for? What are the policies around flex time and work from home that you've seen that have been successful?
I would say this. One of the things, and I'm not going to mention names, but I can tell you, when you look at the top 5 companies Fortune always puts out, say the top 10 companies, the overriding theme that you will see is work-life balance. Um, Most of those companies promote it. They sell it when they're interviewing candidates. Sometimes they may not be the highest paying company on the block, but that work-life balance, the ability to look at their employees and say, we understand that while this is a career and this is important to you, your family, your outside life is actually more important to you. And they also recognize that professionals that have that work-life balance, statistically, it just shows you they are more productive at work. They are more loyal to the company that provides them that work-life balance. And in the end, they are helping with the branding of that company to pull new individuals, new talent into the talent pool for that company. I think what we're seeing, and Amanda, you'll probably have something to say about this too, but what we're seeing on the market now, it's so competitive, right? 3.5 unemployment. It's not just about money. Yes, there's always going to be a percentage of people that move from position to position and are willing to do it simply to add to their bottom line. And there's nothing wrong with that. But now what we're seeing is candidates asking, what is my ability going to be to work from home a couple of days a week? What is my ability going to be if I have a sick parent or a sick child or a sick spouse, partner or friend that I might have to take care of? What are the company's rules around PTO time? Those things now are at the top of people's list just as much as what is the base bonus and any possibly long-term incentives. So I think what we're seeing is, in this new age, where, look what we're doing, right, Amanda? We aren't meeting. We're probably 1,500 miles away from each other, but we're connected. And part of that connection is we can do this whether I'm here, or you're there, or you're in California, or I'm in England. The job can get done. And as long as companies understand that, they're going to actually be able to check off a box in that competition for top talent, because top talent nowadays, they want the flexibility to be remote. They want the understanding that the company they work for realizes they also have an outside life, which is important. And I would say the final thing is they want to be treated like adults when it comes to decisions like with what happened to your mom. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I love to say, treat an adult like an adult. The more you create managing environments, the less likely you are to produce results and innovation. I mean, the statistics are there. The other thing that's very high in America as opposed to other countries, because I work with countries around the globe, and I can tell you statistically significant in America is the burnout rate. And you find that actually in America and Japan, because America and Japan have a culture that you work until you drop. And the thing about that, having personally lived through the past 2 weeks of sleep deprivation and around the clock care, I am not at my best. You don't want your senior executives making decisions that impact multi-million-dollar deals when they haven't slept in 2 weeks. So by caring for your employees and enabling them to take care of their lives, they're going to in turn take care of your business and take care of your clients better. So it's reciprocal. We're in a world that organizations need to be more of a two-way street. And like Jim said, employees are demanding it. And one of the other really great things about the technology advances of being able to work with people from around the world is you truly can get the top talent. So instead of being limited to the top talent within driving or commuting distance, you now open up a world of possibilities for somebody who's maybe, in more of a rural state, maybe somebody who's in a different country, but an expert at something. And, we're very lucky with the time that we live in. And another point I want to talk about is that there are currently 5 generations in the workforce. We're now up to 5 generations in the workforce. And let me tell you something, the Gen Zers are looking for something very different, than the baby boomers. But yet the thing that makes sense to everybody, regardless of their age or what stage they are in life, is that they want to be able to work and contribute to companies, but they also need to be able to live their lives. And I think that when you give them that choice, when you treat them like an adult, you're going to be very happy with the results that you get from them as the employee, but also the level of employee that you're going to attract to your organization and retain at your organization because they feel valued.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, I have real life examples of senior executives and middle level executives trying to figure out why their turnover rate is so high. And we sit down, we talk about it, and one of the things that comes up consistently is, well, there's very little out of office allowed time. And what I mean by that, how often can somebody work from home? What is the PTO time? What do you consider a valid reason for somebody saying, hey, I'm going to take a couple days off, I need to refresh? And when we dig down to it and they see that, boy, we're not even competitive on the market with what we're providing, they start to get an understanding that maybe that's the reason we're losing some of the top talent. Because look, we have to face facts in our business, and companies need to face the fact that people have choices on where they can work. Everybody has a choice in this market. And unless there's something so overriding the norm, if they don't feel appreciated at their current position, and that's not just by money, that's by work-home balance, that's by allowing people to work remotely, they are going to look for other positions. So it really does make sense for companies from a strategic standpoint to understand, look, the cost of getting someone in new and training that person is usually 3 to 4 times what it would cost to make the changes needed to keep the people you already have. And plus, when you do that, the employees, they really appreciate it. When they feel that the company is on their side and understands what they're going through, that loyalty builds up. And you see it in production and you see it in longevity. And it's one of the things that both Amanda and myself, we do. We go around and we help companies work through these issues by listening, by giving advice, and by pointing out sometimes tough love facts on how they can be better in retaining the workforce that they have. Amanda, anything you'd like to say about that?
Yeah, so I know what some of you are thinking right now, and the backlash will be about, well, what about roles where you have to physically be there, like a nurse or a service worker? And there's still ways that you can implement this of flex time, because treating adults like adults. So yeah, you need a nurse on site at a hospital to care for a patient, absolutely. But what you can do, what you can offer your nurses is, maybe you let them say what days they're available. Maybe they're available Monday through Thursday. Maybe they want Wednesdays off. Same thing with service workers, especially because those are sometimes hourly employees. Let them tell you what their schedule parameters are instead of you dictating and mandating it. Because when you give adults at least a little bit of control of their own scheduling, they're going to be more present. They're more likely to show up. They're more likely to be engaged. They're less likely to call out. They're less likely to quit. So this doesn't just apply to information knowledge workers like Jim and myself. It also applies to service people. There are things that you can do. And like Jim said, we're constantly going in and consulting organizations on the best ways to attract and to keep and to train and coach their existing talent. And this is one of the ones that I talk about a lot. And of course, with organizations that have been around for a long time, they're stuck in their ways, but you see the move. You see the movement in the financial industry. I see it in the medical industry. I mean, things are changing, and that's a good thing. And so we're here to support you. We want, your questions, your comments, your concerns. We love that, because that's our passion. Our passion is helping people. And so it's helping organizations with their people, but it's also helping individuals. How can you initiate change within your organization? So I'm certified in change management. I love it. I've lived it my whole life. But there are things that you can do as the individual and as the organization. Take control.
Yeah. And look, remember, family first. At the end of the day, unless it's a very, very unique position, the vast majority of us are going to put our family first, and we should. And there should never be a company that says company first. At least I don't believe so. Maybe I'll get some backlash on that, but if I do, I will steadfast in that. There is nothing more important than your family. At the end of the day, the time that you get to spend with them that is quality time is far outweighs how much money you have in your 401k. At least that's my thoughts. But look, we're open to questions. We've been getting some really good feedback and some great questions. We're not always looking for people to agree with us. We're fine if people don't agree with us. We'd love to hear what you think on this, because this is a big topic. It's a topic I know internally companies deal with all the time, especially when they look at their retention rates. How can we make our people stay longer so it cuts down our cost in bringing new people? Well, one of the ways to do that is becoming more family friendly to the employee. Call us or email us or send us a text or put a comment at the bottom of this video. We want to hear from you. And if you're somebody who has an opinion that you'd like to possibly come on and be a guest, we'd love to have some people come on and possibly even do a roundtable. This is an important topic that affects everybody, from the person who's getting into the workplace right out of school to the person, the senior executive, who's deciding where they're going to go to spend the last part of their career. So, Amanda, why don't you close it for the week, and then we'll see what kind of response we get.
Absolutely. So I could talk on and on about this. It's a passion of mine, as you can probably tell. But yeah, think about what you can be doing better, what your organization can be doing better, because at the end of the day, the more the organization invests in their people, the more likely their people are to feel valued and therefore stay and also give their best work. So we will definitely be talking about this topic again. Flex time, we didn't even touch on, sick leave or paternity leave, but we will in the future. But for now, I think I will leave you with, it's great to be back. We will see you next week. We have a very exciting guest lined up, and we hope you have a great weekend.
And everybody, as usual, and as always, I should say, please reach out to us through the website at www.grtas.net. That is grtas.net. Send us a note through the website. Send us a note through our YouTube channel. Please subscribe as well. Keep downloading those podcasts. Our numbers go up and up and up. And we look forward to continuing to build out this community. But as always, happy Friday and have a great weekend. And until next week, be safe.